All right, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this, people. The LeBron James versus Stephen A. Smith beef. Yep. Uh, the biggest trending topic, unfortunately, in sports today is this. And if you guys are not fully caught up, you can go ahead and do a quick search on the internet. You'll know pretty much everything that happened. It started with the segment on ESPN First Take, and Stephen A. basically calling out LeBron as a father, talking about all the pressure putting on Bronny, and then LeBron going ahead confronting him at a Knicks game, saying to keep his son's name out of his mouth, and then Stephen A. going on a media tour and saying basically that he thought that was weak by LeBron and he should have confronted him man to man, face to face, and then LeBron going on the Pat McAfee show and making fun of Stephen A. more, and then Stephen A. going ahead on his podcast on First Take saying that, LeBron is weak and LeBron is this and he's lying and whatnot. All right, here's where I'm at with this, people. First and foremost, all right, regardless of what Stephen A. says here in terms of, what he was talking about in terms of he's not attacking Bronny, he's talking about LeBron and all the pressure LeBron put on Bronny. All Stephen A. had to do here was just basically say, look, if you didn't like the words that I used in terms of, hey, I'm pleading you as a father, fine. I thought I didn't say anything wrong, but if you feel that way, so be it, and essentially just take the L. And that's the problem here. Stephen A. would never do that because Stephen A. Smith, that's his whole persona here, right? He's going to talk about stuff and he's just going to go ahead and, say what he wants to say. But honestly, he should have just taken the L here. And the thing is, obviously he is not a fan of LeBron James. And so he was going to take this opportunity to go ahead and say that. And he did. And that's fine. That's his opinion. And then, on the other end, LeBron, honestly, him attacking Stephen A. and saying that Stephen A. is loving all this, that's fine and all right, fair game. But kind of didn't like the other angles LeBron went at. Like, he went at Brian Windhorst. Like, you didn't need to do that, right? Windy, he's one of the best in basketball media today. Like, he's a no BS, no drama guy, no hot take clicks guy. Like, I don't think Windy ever claimed to be LeBron's best friend, as LeBron implied. So to me, like, that was a bad look on LeBron's part. And then, essentially this whole thing, it was surprising to me because LeBron has never in his career, like, acknowledged his critics. Like, Skip Bayless made his whole career, going bashing LeBron James, but he's never acknowledged Skip Bayless. Stephen A. Smith also is a guy who is not a LeBron fan. He likes Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's his GOAT, so be it. Everyone can have their opinion. And he had never really acknowledged these takes either. And so for this to happen now is interesting. I know the whole comment got triggered because of Bronny James and because of Stephen A. bringing up Bronny James. But my point here is, instead of creating this divide, instead of creating this whole issue, Stephen A., I think, should have just taken the L, and I think Bron should have just gone ahead and not attacked these other media personalities, really, if you will. And so to me, this whole thing's getting really ugly. It got really ugly, and now you got Stephen A. talking about how LeBron didn't attend Kobe's memorial service, but then he did, so he went back and retracted the statement, and, people talking about how LeBron shouldn't have gone on the Pat McAfee show. He should have gone on a platform that, maybe a little bit smaller, that would have been more helped by it. And so it's like both guys could have done something that would have been a little bit better here. But to me, the funny part about all this, or not even funny, the sad part, I should say, funny is the wrong word, is that basketball discourse, man, shouldn't be this way. And it's ironic because I know I'm talking about this topic right now, but I'm using it as a vehicle to talk about the fact that we should really be focusing on the topics in the league today, right, that are relevant. Like, hey, let's talk about the Pistons turnaround. Let's talk about the Bucks season and how it's essentially dead now that Dame's out. What about the Defensive Player of the Year race? What about all of these things? The Rookie of the Year race? Like, there's so many topics out there. And I know what people are going to say, ratings. I get that. But I feel like they don't even try at this point. Like, is all we're going to have on, First Take and these other shows just essentially going to be the GOAT debate for basketball? Like, they don't do that with the NFL. Like, the NFL coverage is incredible. Like, they talk about all the teams, they dive into plays, they do X's and O's, they talk about why this coverage worked against this team and why that coverage didn't. And, like, I love the discourse with the NFL. It's not hot takey. It's not all of this, like, just gotcha type of stuff. That's what we need in basketball today. And I told you, I know it's ironic I'm talking about this while I'm talking about the Stephen A. Smith LeBron beef, but I'm, again, using it as a vehicle to say we should be talking about this. And we should be talking about stuff that is more relevant in today's game, but instead we got beefs out here happening in basketball media. I think it is funny, though. Honestly, Stephen A. Smith, he's got an ego, and, you know, I feel like he thinks he's bigger than a lot of these basketball players, and I know LeBron obviously has an ego as well. So it's just two guys clashing. You know, certainly entertaining, to say the least. But yeah, man, honestly, I just think it could have been handled so much better both ways. More so Stephen A. than LeBron here. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this. So what do you guys think, man? Agree or disagree? What's your take on this whole LeBron, Stephen A. Smith situation? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, as always. Thanks for watching.